taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But yeah, you know, I mean, that wasn't the only other fight there, although it was the big card. You know, Top Rank had their card too, and you know, unfortunately though, as we talked about for Top Rank, you know, if the main event is good, then the undercard is
Chopper Festival.
Or if the undercard is good, the main event is like, you know, that type of shit. You know, and honestly, for a fight like Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez fighting to unify 130 belts and become ring champion too. On top of that, you would think at least would have gotten like at least a good co-main, like a noble, like someone could have gotten a push. But it was just a lot of Top Rank's young prospects
Showcase.
Showcases, and they're all pretty much like they were. They were just one-sided wins. You know, Nico Ali watched though, scored a highlight reel knockout though. That's I have to, you know, for all the criticism that you can lay on him. You know, obviously the constant comparisons with his grandfather, you know, great Muhammad Ali, in case you've been living under a rock, you know. But dude seems to love boxing. Dude definitely proved to the point where, you know, like, you know, he knows how to deliver that power. And like I said, he flattened that guy with one shot. You know, and so I mean that might go. That I wouldn't be sorry if that's on a KO of the year candidate type of list.
Yeah, dudes are like he got crucified.
Yeah, he did. Like you know, he got holy that night. Sure, you know, and then you know Keyshawn Davis, who's seen as probably like the biggest talent there. I mean, you know, dude, he pummeled that dude. Like, the shit was fucking. It was getting hard to watch. You know, but you know, because that dude's corner did give two shits about him apparently, you know. But it was what it is. But it deserved like some more high profile fights on there. But Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez though.
But now what you said about the corner don't give two shits. See, look, this is why you gotta build camaraderie and chemistry with you know, your cornerman, your trainer, your people. And don't be an asshole in the gym.
Right.
Because, you know, when it's time for, you know, when you can't save yourself and it's time for someone else to do it. And the ref is letting it go, you know, managers, everyone's letting it go, commissioner, you know, you better believe your trainer was remembering all the time your ass is being stubborn, you was being a dick to people in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say sometimes they be wanting to see your ass get humble.
Yeah, facts.
Like, don't you think we should stop the fight, coach? Nah.
No, he wasn't listening when I told him to triple up on the jab. He was throwing a jab at one at a time. So yeah. Let him get that. remember he kept looking at his fucking phone before the ring walk. Yeah.
Remember when he showed up to the gym late, first 2 weeks of training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, yeah, he said, yeah. Get that ass with.
Absolutely, though. But
he acting like Buffalo.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully Bob or whoever does the match can stop this. Like, you know, equal cards. Like, if you're gonna make a dope main event, at least put some thought into the. I mean, if you want to put the mix of appearance, but at least the main card should still be, you know, should have somebody, you know, on there. Like
well, I mean, Keyshawn. I mean, so what's your thoughts on Keyshawn? You think he's a star? I mean, like I think gonna fast track him because I mean he's already co-main eventing.
Yeah, but it's a showcase fight, man. That's
a showcase fight.
Co-main. Who cares if it's a co-main? If it's a showcase fight, like that's the problem. Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, Amo Booker is better as a co-main than a fucking showcase fight. But what happened?
Yeah, it was just, like I said, no one struggled. That's the thing. Is like,
I mean, matchmaking wise, but Keyshawn's like 4-0. He fought the guy was 18-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just like you just knew, like you knew what it was. That's the thing. Like, I mean,
that's true.
No one.
Every 18-1 ain't created equal.
Yeah, taking some King P.
I'm just saying, like, you know, there's something.
No, you're right.
18-1 from Like, let me see. From Argentina is different than an 18-1 from Oregon.
Right.
Or an 18-1 from Kyoto is different from an 18-1 from Germany. That's like an 18-1 from Nigeria, and an 18-1 from Cuba is different. The 18-1, it's so on and so on. Like it's these 18-1s, like I don't know, man. Like some 18-1s are punchers, some 18-1s are tough motherfuckers.
Right.
Some 18-1s are box your ass. So yeah.
Yeah, it was just like it shouldn't have been like just a whole card full of showcases. It was still not necessary. But the main event though did make up for at least all that. Although the main event was just as one-sided as the showcases too.
The main event was a showcase.
Yes. For all the wrong reasons, but one thing I love the energy. Like the whole energy was there. Like the stars were out for this. Like you could this was like you could tell like people were legitimately fucking with this fight. From what
I was surprised how it was in Vegas, right? But I was surprised how many stars you saw out there for that fight.
Yeah, no, because
everybody couldn't be at the other star-studded event. I mean, like, and that's the worst thing about boxing. These two fights were too big to be the same night on two different sides of the country.
Yeah, two title unifications with like four, pretty big names.
Yeah, like that's the only injustice, really.
Yeah, but
like these niggas needed the full attention of boxing, not split in half.
Right, and out there. I mean, God, even when Canelo was there, like you saw, I think Canelo, he was there with his wife, like. People were just like patting this nigga on the back and some shit like that.
He was walking like a king with his fucking pajamas and shit.
Yeah, like niggas was giving him dab. Devin Haney was there. Like all these heavy hitters was there. Winky Wright was there. All these cats. Like I mean, they all showed up. I was like, God damn, like this is like it was like a regular ass like card. I mean, like card. I was just like, wow. I was like, this.
See, that's the thing. It's like. You didn't make nobody until no star with no fights like underneath it. Like that card needed a fight of the year underneath it,
right?
Because you weren't guaranteed that. Look, was Zassic Smith? Vargas was great over on the other side of the country, but it would have probably blew people's mind on that side.
Also, facts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah,
but it blows my mind how many times Canelo has to sit in the audience and see his damn people get beat up.
his trained fighter.
Yeah, his trained fighters are getting their ass kicked this year. Like
no, taking a lot of L's.
Jim Martinez took a beating. He was the favorite.
And funny thing is too,
it was kind of like, oh man, Chocolatito, he's up against it. Bullshit. Fucking Martinez was. Not against nothing, like
I mean Martinez, like I said, I mean basically he was a replacement, but then Martinez though wasn't in he wasn't really in shape like that, and he blew weight, so he couldn't even win the fucking belt, so it was a lot of things, but Martinez,
but he was a young beast, he was still supposed to handle Chocolatito,
right? And he got schooled. So like, Canelo was all in the articles talking about. Oh yeah, I'm surprised that he's such an underdog because the betting odds. Valdez was the clear underdog. Like,
I mean, you see Canelo and Valdez chilling in the gym, working out together all fucking 4 or 5 months straight in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Because Canelo. Canelo never called him out. Canelo knew he was a hard worker, so it was like. It was what it was. It was what it was. So
remember, fucking Valdez be looking like he a damn welterweight when he's sparring Canelo.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's looking big as shit, right?
But the funny thing is too is like when they weighed in, Valdez weighed in. He looked. I mean, I guess I don't know. We didn't have a specialty this time, but he looked like he was pretty small. Where Shakur kind of had to strip down to make the weight. So that tells me automatically that I already know that Shakur, I was like, Shakur's gonna be big as fucking ring. Sure enough, that's what it was. Like Shakur, when he got into that ring. Oh, by the way, I gotta mention too. Like, I thought he was gonna come out to Tupac's bomb first, but then this nigga switched to the baby walking the ring with him. I was just like, nigga, that's the type of shit that would make me throw a table into the sky. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. This the young boy, he someone got into his ear and it's like, and he's gonna come up with some shit, come up with some World War shit, and then you hear the baby's like one-dimensional ass flow, and shit like that, and I'm just like,
it makes me think now. I'm tired of these niggas trying to play 13 different songs on the ring walk. Stick to one fucking song. That's the most annoying shit. Like, niggas be trying to do 15 songs. Like, nigga, I don't need reggae gold before the fucking fight. Like jeez, nigga, like, one fucking song. Like, oh my god, like, annoying as shit. You start getting hyped for one song and then 10 seconds later, like, the fuck going on? Like, my god, like, damn, that shit's annoying.
Well, yeah, that and then the national anthems playing even if there's no American fighter in there, there's no need to play the American anthem. Like, no,
he's like, fuck it, if this fight's in America, you gonna hear our anthem.
I'd rather hear no anthems, to be honest.
I feel you. I understand, though.
Yeah, it's like, man, because like I'm sitting here, it's like,
at that point, I'm just like, just make sure you got good singers to do it.
Right? There's no
struggle.
Yeah.
And no remixing. I don't need to hear a step in the name of the anthem.
Well, I mean, that fuckery will never. That fucker will never die. This nigga made this nigga
fucking damn near ruined Hopkins Taylor from me. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Nigga really turned the anthem, the national
the motherfucker started dancing.
Yeah,
like, I need different fuckery. I need like when what's his name? Eddie and Gerald was trying to out-sing each other on the anthem before Tyson Holyfield. That's the type of shit. Like, when motherfuckers is like father, son, it's like, I'm gonna sing better than you, dad. Like, nah, son, nah, I got this. Like,
I mean, like I said, honestly, the ring walk, as we mentioned before in the past, the ring walk is kind of like a thing that, the art of actually doing a good one is kind of like disappearing. Like, no one. I mean, they tried it with Tank, but Tank is not really.
Spence does it perfect. Spence knows what the fuck he's doing.
The last Spence ring walk was pretty hard. That Southside the Realist, that shit went in.
Yeah, because the crowd was singing along. I was like,
the crowd was into it too. Yeah, and
Spence ain't have a bad ring walk yet.
Yeah,
Broner used to kill ring walks.
I think the last one I remember, was that Gary Russell Jr. when he had the African tribe out there.
The Gary Russell one was hard. Yeah, but like I said, but I'm talking about on the major scale, like for the big major fights.
They fuck it up on the big major ones. Like Tyson Fury, probably the only one who knows how to do it like on that level. Everyone else is like hit or miss.
Oh yeah, you can't forget Deontay Wilder's suit.
Yeah,
that was a miss. That was
a huge miss.
And that shit missed the side of the bar and everything, nigga. Hit the tractor, all of that shit. Go.
Well, somebody will get that shit right though. But with Shakur though, I mean, next time just play Tupac's bomb first and walk to the ring. I'll be happy as fuck. And then of course,
stop getting our hopes up, but damn, and then you remix and shit.
Yeah, but the crowd was. I mean, funny things too is like it was clear that the crowd was rocking, but the crowd was fucking booing Shakur. But when Valdez came out, it was like they exploded. Like it's Vegas, and I've been to a Vegas fight. I've seen what happens. When there's a Mexican fight. I mean, I was there. For the Jojo Diaz, and then how the whole fucking arena was just giving this nigga all types of. Standing O's and just screaming at the top of their lungs and shit. And then when Devin comes out, it's like, damn, it's boos and crickets alternating. It's fucking ridiculous.
But see, that makes the boxing performance even sweeter, my friend.
Yeah, and that's what it was. That's why I took great pleasure. Now, obviously, in the past, if you heard us talk about that, like one of Shakur's few flaws is transitioning from his defense to his offense. Because he's highly defensive, and it's not a bad thing, But but when you're doing, of course, this is where the sweet sciencing term came into
No,
play.
it's not that he's super defensive. It's how he's defensive,
Yeah.
and I'll explain.
He's just really good at defense. I mean, like in counter punching.
It's how he defends, and I'll explain. Oh, he's great at counter punching, but his defense is basically him being faster and having better reflexes than everyone else. Because he still does that pull back and jump back shit. And I told y'all in the preview, my biggest concern is him doing that and him getting caught with something crazy. Valdez was trying with that punch the whole night, and Stevenson, he never really adjusted to it. He got hit with that
over
right
and over again. Yeah.
over the whole fucking fight. But the thing is, the reason why it didn't do the damage it was supposed to do was, first of all, I think Shakur Stevenson looked like he was at 140. 145.
He looked about 150. Yeah, he looked like a welterweight.
So first of all, he was big. He looked way big. Number two, Valdez was reaching with the punch
over and over and over.
Even though he was connecting, is one of those he was punching at the target. He needed to arc the shot and punch through Shakur.
Like, did he have a game? Like, I felt like his game plan was just try to catch some with Shakur, and just like it just seemed like
stay in front of him and shoot the right hand and be a southpaw. But he didn't jab his way in. He needed more body punches, and he needed to be first. But Shakur Stevenson make it difficult. But Valdez was touching him with the right hand. And I look at it like this: if you could touch somebody with a certain shot over and over, you just not have to touch them better.
Mm-hmm.
They never made the adjustment for the overhand right. He kept just throwing the straight right. The overhand right is what was going to make the damage, because the straight right, since Stevenson was still backing up, the punch would sometimes connect, and sometimes it would graze Shakur. Yeah. Sometimes so it wasn't snapping his head. It wasn't making it like a known punch to really say Valdez was in the rounds.
Right.
So and that's the thing. Like, if you're banking on one type of punch to keep you in the fight, you got to make that punch look effective. Absolutely. So he needed to throw that overhand. Like, this is when he needed to be on some the Franson or the Cruz de Jour.
Yeah.
That's what he needed. Like, they needed to switch spots on that shit.
Yeah, but unfortunately he never did, because his offense is too predictable. And Shakur, and the only thing, like as you mentioned before, Shakur, the only thing that Valdez did that he was able to land repeatedly was just doubling up the straight right hand.
The straight right landed a little bit.
Yeah,
Stevenson did not fucking slip or nothing. So if I'm gonna call it out on Josh Taylor and Lee Wood, I'm gonna call it out on Stevenson. Like, I don't know what it is, y'all niggas ain't moving your head with shots. Like,
yeah, I mean, the only thing I say Shakur is, though, that he has. I mean, he knows how to create space pretty fucking well. Like, so to the point where he's not getting hit too clean. He was
using that lead hand. He almost got a point.
Yeah. Like in front of this dude, people were like, "Well, why can't you can't do it because you can't use your lead hand to measure or hold somebody's head. It's against the rules."
And was he going kind of low? Was he going kind of low, or was I tripping? Like, I feel like
no, he was going low. No, I'm gonna be honest. Shakur Stevenson was landing some fucking low shots.
He was low in terms of a few like.
Hey man, he's half Puerto Rican, man.
Yeah, definitely some Trinidad, some Puerto Rican.
Some Danny Garcia, they all do it, bro.
And Cotto.
Yeah, all Puerto Rican fighters do it, man. It's the PR special, man. We all know what it is, man.
I mean, it's like see, the thing is, at least when they do it, they kind of need to do it because they're losing. Because to be honest, if Cotto doesn't,
after a while,
if Cotto doesn't do that shit to Zab, that fight's a little different.
Facts.
Now people gonna be like, "Well, what about Choppy Trinidad?" No, like we not gonna say that for every fight, but yeah, like it didn't, like Stevenson didn't need it this one, but it happens. But Valdez, look, you got to do something about it. This motherfucker keep hitting you. I'm gonna go low at least one time. Fucking respect me, shit. But the thing is, Valdez, he was just outgunned with everything. Man. The punches hurt. His face was beat up.
He was outclassed. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a level. Shakur showed that he just a different level.
And then Canelo's over there looking vexed because he was like, "Fuck."
He's like another one of my.
You saw the whole narrative before the fight was the shit about Canelo basically signed off on this fight and approved this fight because he has confidence in Valdez. Oh fucking shit! Y'all got punked into this fight because if y'all didn't fucking make this fight, it just gives credence to what Terrence Crawford was saying,
right,
in that lawsuit, and then the fact that ESPN didn't let Shakur Stevenson call Valdez out in his last fight. They cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
it is kind of funny to see him.
Yeah, all that shit's funny, dude. Like Valdez was just the sacrifice, but they was looking at it like, look, you had some good wins. You've been undefeated. You peaked out. This, that. Look, fucking, you good. You could do this. Hey, the great Canelo's training you.
Right.
And then, Eddie Reynoso will be in there. Like, he'll show up too.
Yeah,
Lord.
And I got mentioned.
Hey, I mean, am I capping? I mean,
no,
did he not show up to Frank Sanchez's fight the day of? Like, and no one refuted it? Like, Ryan Garcia said that, and no one said that's not true.
It was kind of funny seeing Terrence Crawford like holding the belts and in the corners for both. Did they even mention Terrence Crawford?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. They showed him. They said that he was there. Like, TR couldn't ignore him. Like,
he can't ignore him. He's just gonna
even though he's currently suing them, like, they can't ignore him because Terrence Crawford is, he's one of the main dudes in boxing. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No longer signed to them.
It'll give the lawsuit even more credence. Like,
right.
Like, look at this. I'm one of the best boxers in the world. This is my. I've had a title fight with my friend, and look at this. Like, they keep bleeping me out and positioning the camera not to show me. I'm all up in the videos. Your Honor, like, come on. Like, Crawford, like. He was doing what the hell he wanted that night.
Yeah. Crawford was Crawford. And personally, I'm glad that he was able to. I could tell he had the pass. Like, he was there. Like, dude was legitimately credentialed, to do whatever. So it was good, But yeah, what was funny though was the knockdown though, because the knockdown was almost like Floyd Hatton-ish. The way, the way that Valdez fell to the ropes. Bounced off, only to Shakur just hit him with one little shot, and dude got put on his ass. Like, I was like, and Valdez tried to argue that shit wasn't a knockdown, but nah, bro. Like,
bullshit. That was a knockdown. Bullshit. That was definitely a knockdown.
Yeah, that was a clear knockdown. Yeah,
Yeah, I felt for Valdez. Valdez, he was trying to land that left hook so much, like he could like. And dude was just eating 2, 3, 4, 5 punches like at a turn, like every single time that he was missing. Like,
he was never gonna let that.
I told you, if Valdez couldn't land the left hook, he didn't have anything for Stevenson. Stevenson was gonna take away that left hook.
Yeah, exactly.
He took it away himself by not jabbing.
Yeah, exactly, because he was just trying
to. The only thing he had for Stevenson was the right hand, but since he couldn't adjust with the right hand. He was just going to get that much out of it.
Now, was it me or was Ward scoring originally was kind of like he was off again until he
and then he tried to be like, I don't know, that's the demographic was wrong, man. I have it Stevenson up like niggas just probably slapped him upside his head or some shit. He's like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like, Stevenson beat this nigga ass. How you got it competitive? Like,
yes. Oh man, so yeah.
You saw he called it out right when it happened. You see that he showed us they flashed it. For like
they did because niggas were like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is Ward talking about?"
So do y'all think for Shakur, should he like try to unify 130 with the zone guys or fight Robinson or move up? What do y'all think?
I mean, right now at this point, well, first, Valdez got. TR was trying to make him to something into a marquee, but now that dude, he's gonna have to rebuild because he's gonna have to. Yeah, because he lost 3, just like because I think we predicted the whole 10-2, 9-3 type of decision.
I picked him by decision,
So did I.
I knew Stevenson wasn't going to knock him out.
Yeah. Although there were times where I thought if he did just put, if Shakur really,
if he would have pushed it, but I know he respected Valdez too much, but he could have knocked him out.
Mm-hmm. It's like similar to Joette. Like he just didn't knock him out, though he maybe could have. Like Joette.
Well, Joette though was just tough.
Joette was different. Joette's tougher. Like he never broke down Joette. Yeah, to the point where he could push him off the cliff. He didn't have him nowhere near the edge.
Yeah, it's about round 7, round 8. Shakur was just styling on that boy, man. God damn.
Yeah, especially in the last 30 seconds, like it was fun.
Just running.
Yeah, he was running around.
Yeah, dude did a victory lap, and then Valdez did one wild ass string and missed by a country mile and shit like that. I was like, man, that's that shit that makes your soul burn. Like you can tell Valdez was just like, I know Valdez wanted to call him all types of slurs after that shit.
Yeah, you just know, like, but it's like when you run away from something, and like low key, like. This is why Canelo hasn't fought Andre yet. Mm-hmm. I know nobody wants to say it, but this is why. No one's saying Andre in Shakur Stevenson or the same. No one's saying Canelo and Valdez are the same. But this is why, and no one could force him to make that fight. Mm-hmm. This shit got parallels. Wasn't this fight supposed to be originally at 126?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just, the boxing guys let Canelo get away with that shit, but Valdez, no.
Yeah, and Valdez, he tried to be, he saved faced about it, but his face, everything about him was defeated,
Yeah, you could tell he just wanted to, he was out there. And I think Shakur was right in that little interview where he said, you at 126, you should have fought me then because now I'm different. I think Shakur would have beat him back then too, but I just feel like
he's bigger, heavier now.
He's bigger, heavier now. So that's the
punches are more punishing. Like he should have. Yeah, he's right. Y'all gotta stop him. And the thing is too. Another thing, Valdez had less wear and tear on him too. Mm-hmm. But Valdez be getting hands put on him in every fight. You can't be undefeated and with that type of mileage on you going against Shakur Stevenson.
Hell no.
Like it just like Navarrete has a better shot at Stevenson than a guy like Valdez.
That's the fight I want to see.
I want to see that fight. Either Navarrete shows a real level or Shakur will be is surely a pound for pound, dealing with someone like Navarrete.
Like he's pound for pound now. Like Shakur Stevenson pound for pound. Like he's like number 8 or 9 right now, top 10. Like
yeah, because as easy as he made Valdez is still a formidable guy. Like
he's an undefeated champion.
He was undefeated champion this point, so it's not like he faced like a random ass job. But Valdez was just made to look like one. That's one thing, but he wasn't.
And see, the thing is, Stevenson's 2 biggest performances are like lopsided.
Right.
So that counts for something. It's not like you're winning a 115, 113 Jesse Vargas decisions over these dudes.
Right.
which is nothing's wrong, but talking about pound for pound, you gotta be beating niggas 117, 111, 118, 110 type shit.
Right. And that
separation.
Yeah, and it was great to see. The crowd was loving it. Like it wasn't sweet side singing to that level. Because he put hands on him. you know, Shakur, and then of course Shakur, you know, proposed to his baby's mother and shit like that in the ring.
Yo, why did I hear niggas say no?
Well,
That was wild.
yeah, well, I mean, Shakur's now fiance has a bit of a reputation on social medias and shit like that. Like, if you follow the boxing, hip hop, and you know whatever shit like that, you know,
Shay Routine or something.
Love and Hip Hop shit or whatever. Yeah,
oh, she's on Love and Hip Hop.
Something like that. She's famous. She got a blue chick. She's something like that. But she be saying a lot of wild shit. So that's the reason why, like, you know, people were like,
niggas is like, no. It's like when I heard that, I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, he's not that.
You know, but everything about that was now. I mean, like I say, clearly now Shakur's probably shook off the Clary and the Nakatia fights. You know, off there, like he learned. I was like, you know what? I gotta put some hurt on these cats. I can't be too defensive. So with the Herring fight, where he stopped Herring. And you know he stopped Herring, and then you know obviously he put hands on Valdez the way he did, man. Like, yeah, dude might be the number one guy at 130, and
might be stop. He is like,
yeah,
he is. Yeah. Who else? Who else at 130?
Who else is there for him to fight at 130? Like,
I mean, as of right now, I mean, 130 is definitely in his future. It just depends on, you know, if he's gonna wait till the
not the way he was weighing. Hell no, he got to fight at 135.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, either that where he goes and starts unifying, or he fights Navarrete at 130. You know, so, I mean, he has fights. It depends if Navarrete wants to give up his.
Navarrete at 130.
Huh?
Is Navarrete at 130?
He's moving up to 130 supposedly.
Yeah.
But he's at 126, but he's been kind of. I mean, he haven't heard from him in a while. You haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah. I think Navarrete's going through some promotional shit going on. That's the reason why.
Okay, so throw that fight out the window.
Well, because I don't think Shakur. I mean, like, because the other champs were Ogawa, who won it on the zone. He's fighting Cordina, and then you got
Gutierrez.
You got Gutierrez, who's gonna fight the guy who embarrassed.
Yeah, who bodied Little B-Hop.
Yeah, Hector Luis Garcia. So like, that's unification's probably not possible.
He got some names, and these are decent guys, decent names. But Shakur Stevenson wants to be a star.
Right.
He needs to go to 135.
He got to move up. Yeah, he got to move up.
Yeah, because lightweight is the division for him, but right now the lightweight division is kind of tied up. But I mean, obviously there was Shakur and
Nah, it's not tied up. The titles are tied up, but the division is open for someone to just start beating ass and collecting names. And it feels like no one wants to do that no more. Everybody just wants to wait till the title shot comes out. So, like, y'all niggas start making these fights.
Yeah.
Like, see, that's the thing that happens at Undisputed when people get undisputed. It throws off the division for like a year or two because everybody's trying to see if they can just get an immediate shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Shakur moves to 135. You want to see him fight Loma?
Yeah, I think that might be the fight they're gonna try to make if that happens.
Yeah, I can see that. Because to me, Loma ain't do nothing to earn no fucking winner of Caboce's Haney.
Right.
Yeah.
All he did was beat the niggas. He beat the niggas of the nigga that beat him.
That beat the nigga, yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, get out of here. But if you beat Shakur Stevenson, of course you deserve the winner of Undisputed with lightweight. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the thing. But that's anybody who gets a decent win. If Ryan Garcia was a knockout Jojo Diaz or Loma was to fight somebody who has a shot, who's an actual contender and dominate.
Mm-hmm.
They the most deserving, but someone has to do that. You can't fight the Tagos of the world. You can't beat up the Komeis and Nakatanis after they've been beat up on it. And be like, okay, undisputed shot. Like, you know, normal, like, I get boxing Twitter, y'all love this dude, but come on, man. Like, if anyone else was doing what he did, y'all would be like, come on.
Right.
These PBC retreads. Loma do it, everybody lose their fucking mind. Like, come on.
Yeah.
How many times niggas be talking about Oh, the damn PBC round robins.
That's me. That's me that says that.
Top rate been having round robins since damn Pacquiao, Bradley, Jesse Marcus.
That's also true. But sometimes those TR round robins though they do make for some interesting fights. Like TR has been, I'm not gonna lie, they do.
I mean they be interesting on both sides. So I mean I get it, but I just niggas just need to be honest about them though. Like,
right.
And don't be like can't be no fanboy for one side and then the other side you're like, nah, fuck this round robin. Like, nah.
Right.
I don't want to see Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado again. Like,
no, but at least Shakur does have options right there. But like I said, I mean, it's good now. Shakur, I think now from what I read preliminary, it turned out this card might actually have the highest ESPN ratings for 2020 for boxing.
That's dope. That's dope.
I mean, it's the best fucking fight they gave us, and I would hope it would
on
be.
paper, yeah. And also, in the post fight, Bob Arum did mention like he was asked about Nico Ali watched Keyshawn Shakur doing the pay per view together, and he's like, no, Bob Arum said fuck pay per view basically. So that's a good look then for the.
There's no way he can really put on pay per view now.
He got no pay per view star.
Yeah,
ESPN pay per view. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I wish
Fury,
Shakur on fucking ESPN pay per view or ESPN Plus pay per view, whatever the fuck the bullshit is. Like, nah,
because they see it's a waste because it's too confusing and it's like it's a numbers game. It's better to just get the most viewers.
Yeah.
So all these different paywalls is bullshit. Like,
right?
Paywalls hurt boxing,
They
especially when they're complicated. Like, if niggas is doing streaming